The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed.
All right. Welcome to the 227th episode of the World Blockchain Roundtable.
He said secrets. He said secret societies.
Did he? Our hosts for today. You're supposed to change your voice too, though, right? Anyway.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, there's Greg. I was wondering. I was like hoping Greg would show.
Oh yeah.
Very good. Very good. Host for today.
This damn machine, man. This machine is driving me nuts. I swear to God, a 2013 Hackintosh Macintosh is just not a good daily driver.
Yep, it's a so Greg appears here as the analog set. He brings in a tube-based compute tech, and sometimes he has to replace the tubes and knock bugs out of them and stuff like that. Okay, so
the whole thing runs on an AI that I've built, right? So clearly I just have to figure out how it all works before the machine.
That's how it works. Okay, so for today we have Lisa, Litecoin Lisa, from the Mighty Lair. We have Zach and Andrew from the Legacy Right. But Zach's hiding his identity occasionally. And then we have Then we have
how do I put up with this guy?
Greg from Rivet.
Hello.
It's an agorism thing, I think. Greg from Rivet also, and we'll go through the questions, and then we have memes later, and I have an intro. Remind me, I have an intro video for the memes that we can play, and then I think that's it. So I think we can get started. But you know what? I didn't share my screen, so let me get that turned on. Where is it? This one right here. This one right here. Okay, so first off, we have a quick update from last week's token distribution. So last week was what if blockchain existed in Roman times, and some such extra bit of topic detail, right? It was nominated by Zach, wasn't it? That was Zach?
Yes.
Greg. Okay, yeah, by Zach. In my notes, it says Greg. I have to make sure I make sure.
That one, I don't think that one was me.
Bad notes.
It was
it
was the
probably
Telegram.
Zach.
Anyway, not a big deal.
Yeah. It wasn't on the Den. Let's just put it that way. It was on the Telegram.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
every host 106 lot last week. Every topic contributor 33 lot. For anybody who's Illuminati, all of you guys are now members who got a question in last week. You get 33 lot, and last week's
Illuminati.
theme. So Zach will get 33 lot for coming. So Zach is also triangle head person or something. Okay, so ownership tokens.
Freemason.
There you go.
Knights
Ownership
of
tokens
Columbus.
come with perpetual passive income, free edits, and governance votes. You know, when I worked at Disney, I didn't even know about that Club 33 thing they had there. Do you guys know about that? It's so
you didn't
weird.
get invited?
Never. No. Yeah.
I've heard.
I showed up. I showed up at the park, and they acted like I was like some cancer or something. They didn't want anything to do with me. I like, you're supposed to, when you work there, they send all these things that you can go and everything's cheaper, right? And so they make sure they send it after whenever you're supposed to go. So it's like I was supposed to.
They can all smell it if you haven't taken your adrenochrome.
Anyway, yeah, it's like, I don't know, something weird. But I knew I had a friend who was from Seattle who somehow actually got to go into that club and got to go meet. There were some famous people he met
Huh.
there, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. And it's like, how do you get that, right? And it's like, who do you know? And it's kind of
Did he
weird.
wear a yellow dress to go in?
He didn't tell me. I don't know. Yeah, do they do that?
A glass shoe.
Wow.
Mhm.
Do they do? They don't do those marriage things there, do they? I'm not gonna.
Who
get into
knows?
that. Anyway,
Probably.
anyway,
It's a mystery. Cool.
it's all weird stuff. I was like, oh, anyway.
Hmm.
So next we have this, which is the October theme vote. It is pending still. It was posted on the 23rd. Okay. So it was posted 2 days ago. So you have a little bit around a week to get to it, right?
What should I vote for, guys?
Yeah, what should Greg vote for?
Refresh.
Oktoberfest.
Oh, I think I put
Oh,
one
you know
in
what?
there.
Oh,
I'm gonna refresh this
Oh.
because I think I voted actually. So
I don't
me
think
see.
I voted.
I think
Yes.
though.
that somewhere in Florida there's an event called Croctoberfest because I feel like there should be.
that's horrible. Look, 3 of us have voted for Oktoberfest. I think we have enough votes in October. I could switch my
Lord.
vote.
drunks.
I just want to make sure that we get Oktoberfest
You
because I
alcoholic.
have some German, and I want an excuse to go buy a Stein. Not really. I don't know.
I
don't-
think
you
I
I
don't
have
worked
have
for a
to.
Stein
You have to have a
once.
Dude,
Stein.
every German has to have a Stein on them at all times. It's national law, right?
I know we did when I was a kid. So I was like, "What is that for?" It's like that's a Stein. No. What's it for?
Right.
It's a Stein. I
I'll buy a
didn't know what it was
flask and
for.
fill it with sweet tea.
Yep.
Silver linings would be great, actually. Silver
Actually,
linings.
that sounds like you, Greg. The silver linings.
Silver linings, Greg. Vote for that because we have
That
to
does
have
sound
that.
like me. I
Yeah,
do
it
want
does.
silver linings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they're
Every
there
show.
for anybody willing
Yeah.
to stare at the edge of the cloud instead of the center.
Well, every
Exactly.
show is
Exactly.
silver linings with Greg. So, but
Dude,
it would
I
be
should
good
name
to
a
have
show
us
Silver
all
Linings,
have
actually.
to focus on the silver linings. That would be good.
It'd be cool if I named. Do you guys see like me doing Silver Linings with Greg Lang as a show,
Right.
Yes.
where we literally don't look at any of the problems, but we start with the problem, then go to the edge of it and find nothing but good things about it to talk about.
Yes.
The bumper would just be me looking at
It's a
the
power.
edge of the
It
sun.
sounds silly, but it's a powerful thought exercise that drives much of my existence.
See, that probably is a better way to look at the world, man. I guess if it were something in terms of okay, the good things about it, or what can be used that is good from that bad
Right.
thing.
Well, there's 3
That's
circles. There's the world, there's the world you live in locally, and then there's your exact sphere of influence. And most people have one smaller than all the other 2. So you've got to see which silver linings are nearby you and drift towards them if you can.
Wow, dude, yeah, that's good. Okay, see, I say you need to vote on that one, Greg,
I'm
because
voting on it.
we need.
You have me
to-
convinced that people need to hear about this little talked about aspect of my approach to thinking.
Yes, no, I
We're doing
think
it.
so. I need to know more so that I can maybe start doing.
You know a
that
little
more.
bit, Joe. We've talked about it somewhat.
I know it, and I'm always like, oh, that's interesting. There are only 2 topics that have votes, so. have you
Oh,
voted,
refresh.
Rachel?
I voted again.
Okay,
I voted.
all right, okay, good.
Wait, don't
Yeah.
refresh yet,
Again.
'cause Silver Linings is on here now.
Okay,
Refresh again too.
I'll refresh
Got it.
again.
We're all
Got
voting.
it.
We got it. Okay, we have 2 voters on. So dang it, why does it do that to me? 2 voters. Okay, all right. Zach and Greg have. And by the way, let's look at the place of the. Oh, I'm at 16%. Oh my! Wow, I didn't expect that. All right. Blockchain solutions during government. Lisa, thank you. That's
I'm
awesome.
hopeful.
So who did the
That is-
Hashcraft one?
Oh yeah, the Hashcraft. Because I think who I know. Did Dayrox vote for that? Where's the Hashcraft one? Is
No,
it-
we just you already clicked down on it. It was time hoarder.
Okay. Did I? Where's it at? There it is.
Yeah, it's right there.
There it is. Okay. All right.
Nice.
All right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one.
That'll
Most
be
people
good.
don't know what a directed acyclic graph is too. I feel like we should
Yeah.
talk about that when we get there. That's gonna be cool.
Yep. I do also like this one. If anybody, how does X work? That would be fun. Mostly because that's how you learn
That
stuff.
would be good.
But
Yep.
We have all the
nobody
votes
should
in.
ask. But nobody should ask us where babies come from.
is yes,
The store.
good. Is Sean going to show up today?
His power was out yesterday, so I don't know if it's still out.
Yeah.
I know that I saw at least one question that he will have a good comment on. So I'm hoping that he comes in here. You know, it might have been. It's almost like when they opened up King Tut's tomb and all the power went out in North Africa, right? It's probably something like that when they burned that red heifer. That all of Texas, all the power went out.
I feel like we can't discount the prosaic mismanagement of everything in the country just going to shit.
Well, they did
It's just the fact that power production is rendered incompetent.
Yeah,
by
I put in one of those big AI data centers down there or something. I drove by the
somebody
Tesla,
trying to scale up a transformer.
when we were coming back
more
up from
stupid.
Texas. We drive what is the name of it? The big Tesla place where the big supercomputer is and all that out of Austin. Anyway, drove by that. Didn't even expect to drive by it. We was like, wait a minute, is that like? Looked on. Yes, it is. That's cool.
They did just shut down the big solar farm in, was it Arizona or California? Because they proved that it was not efficient, didn't work. It was a big.
Well, plus you have to scatter those panels out. Like wildlife hates it.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I know. Let's build a power plant on 300 square kilometers of land instead of one power plant that fits inside of a city block. Right, because the density is that different.
It's
one
ridiculous.
of those is going to kill wildlife at scale. The other will not.
You know,
Got to prove everyone's wrong to say
Politics.
California can do something successful.
Yep.
That's
your
not
agenda.
what California's up to, though. They're way too busy making censorship laws happen in the background of Trump.
Yeah. But that's for current events.
Yep. Okay, here we go. This week's episode is Decentralized Identity or a Surveillance-Free Future, episode 227. How many years is 227 weeks? It's like 4 years, right? So
52
What
weeks
about that?
in a year, right? So
yeah,
Yep.
cool. Okay,
Exactly double where we
Quarter.
are at 2 years, right? Would be so 2 years is 104.
okay, all right. So 208. So we're good. Couple months into the 4 year. All right. We're gonna go to. Oh wait, I didn't refresh. Get your questions in. Too late. All right. I'm gonna wait for it to blink. There. See, it blinks. My browser blinks after you refresh. So, all right.
Blink.
Dayrox
It doesn't blink before. That's just weak knees.
Yes. Dayrox asks, question: could you explain this concept from the beginning? What is ID really? What are the current problems and what solutions does blockchain offer? Brad Garlinghouse once said that the government has our IDs. Is he right? How can we become ID owners? Or how do you own your own ID? Okay, who wants to start with this? There's
I'd
a lot
like to.
here. All right, go for it.
Okay, so identity is some kind of reputational signifier, essentially, that connects you, the physical person, to you, the story about you. Right, your identity is what connects you to your story. It's the part of you that when people look at it, they go, okay, this person did this here. Right, it's the this person part. Now, the interesting thing about the this person part is it works without the legible connection to your physical address, right? Identity is really legibility, which is the law's ability to locate you with guns and make you do stuff, plus reputation. True decentralized self-sovereign identity isn't identity at all. It's reputation sans identity, with a hard wall between identity and your reputation.
That's a good way to look at it. I like that. That's great. You have anything, Andrew?
It's to say it's basically what Greg is saying. It's a form of normalized tracking and surveillance of your person. Before, back in the 1800s and stuff like that, really didn't have this style of identity that we have now. I mean, people knew by names, but people lied all the time. But there was also a lot of honest people that they didn't see an issue with just telling the truth.
Yep.
So you're not stopping lying, people. It's just a form of surveillance, and it's a form of surveillance that creeps slowly and objectively, and you just don't have any privacy with an identity.
Yep. All right. Zach,
I mean, nobody lied really in the 19th century. I'm sure there was, but it was a very rarity. Nobody actually lied. I mean, when it comes to the apparatus of surveillance, I mean, we've had that for a long a long minute, and that ended up expanding in the 30s with the creation of the straw man of your Social Security ticket. I mean, when the Social Security Act was formulated. I mean, that also goes far as like birth certificates was the initial aspect of it that preceded Social Security. That was
Right.
actually in the 19th century. So, I mean, it just
So Zach,
you have
what you're
a
saying is that it's like it's part of your story, but it's also part of the control grid, is what you're saying.
it's all part of the control grid. I mean, the difference between the 19th century and birth certificates is most people were more localized, or you didn't have the technology that expanded onto a large scale, so it was easier to miss people. Even, I mean, the census wasn't really a that we have today wasn't really a big part of anything then. So, I mean, that started changing probably after World War I, really, but especially after World War II, when you have the Social Security apparatus.
Yep. All right, Lisa.
So I would think your identity right now, we have like you guys are talking about the social security cards, all that. I think they're talking about like how the government identifies people, but our ID or our identity is kind of like our IP, name, image, likeness, how we identify ourselves. And what the solution that blockchain brings is that instead of our IP or our identity being held or identified by the government or a third party, we could hold our own identity in our own possession, and we could be in control of our own identity or our name, image, likeness, and that is constitutional as well.
Mhm.
Our identity is
Yeah.
protected in the Constitution, and
It's
so
an interesting thing, Lisa. You just said there kind of makes me think of identity as, or at least one way to think of identity is a way to. Actually, let me come back to that thought because I'm having a hard time.
Well,
coming up with a simple
well,
way
you
to
say,
say it.
okay. I'll
Correct.
say I think that the how do you say this? I think Greg definition of ID itself fits. I mean, is really really good and broad. And the thing that you can offer with blockchain, and there are a bunch of different ways you can do it, but essentially the ability to hold something and to put info on chain that is still private, but the proof is there, so that I could expose it at will to limited, to who I need to expose it to prove that I am so and so, or that I have certain credentials, or that I'm over a certain age, or whatever might be necessary to do business or to interact with other people and companies. And then the companies on the other side can request info that they either are required by law to do, or that they need for their own policies to do, without getting all the info. And I will say the venture capital world largely is responsible, in my opinion, for a lot of what we see right now, because everybody was being pushed within startups to gather as much personal info as you can from all of your users. They wanted you to get that. Why? Because they, instead of monetizing what you were actually building, they wanted to monetize all of those
Right.
identities. They wanted you
Their
to
failure
have them there.
basically, it was like an equity store that they would build up
Right.
in your business, where
And
if it failed, they would just force you to sell the data.
yep. And and in the
So your
end, it was
business
always
plan
like,
doesn't
oh,
work, no
we have all
problem.
this.
You've
Yeah,
been working the data play, right?
exactly.
Google, you put in Google, because Google will even still surface this, although it might not if you start looking at it and then commenting on it hostily. It might fall off of Google, but for now, you can just put that in quotes. Data play.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it
And
was.
it'll
And
read all
that's
about it.
why. And and it's so funny because the world is so cooked. It's interesting when you do the loop on this thing, that theoretically the reason that the natural organic reason for companies to not hold all that info is it's obvious that you have a honeypot there. All of a sudden, somebody's going to come in, either a bad employee or somebody just breaking into my system. When I'm holding all this info, they're going to release all that info, and it's going to embarrass me. And theoretically, the organic mechanism to prevent me from doing something stupid like that, holding all millions of people's personal info, is that my stock price would be killed, because everybody's like, oh, that's a bad company. They're going to get sued. They're going to have some big settlement. But guess what? Because of the 401k, because of taxes, the stock price never goes down. So there's nothing against them holding it. There's like, how many companies have had these major issues with identity leaks, and they never suffer any consequences from legal, from even the financial world,
because they are liability shielded for engaging in those practices. The insurance companies say, set up a dangerous situation for security, and then we'll indemnify you when your security system fails.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And so the whole thing is like that. And if you were to look at it organically, and what blockchain gives you, some very simple mechanisms to say, I can hold, like Lisa mentioned, I can hold my own info, my medical info, my, what's on my driver's license, in a way that I don't have to expose it to anyone. And the government, even to do their own business, shouldn't have to hold any of that info, but they do.
Right.
And speaking of Brad Garland, they hold
gathered
all
incidentally.
Of our, it's like, you look at
Joe, I think what you're talking about is really important here. Can I ask you a question about this? Because the distinction you're drawing is between the government's ability to gather data for legitimate purposes and the government's ability to take the ancillary data, stuff it into a general pool, and use it for not legitimate purposes.
Right.
See the T app.
Yeah.
Leak.
Well, and I mean, it's really great. Look at the Office of Personnel Management. And I had said this for years. If anybody's ever gone through and gotten a security clearance,
where the real government power is,
OPM, it's crazy, because you fill out this paperwork that is, I mean, when it's printed out, it's like this thick, just for one of these papers. It's all of your history for the past, it's either 15 years or 20 years, like every address you've lived at, who your neighbors were that you knew, if you had, when you were younger, you had roommates, and you fill out
fill out the application form, and you get a sense of the ongoing record they maintain.
Yeah, and they know everything about anybody who has a clearance, right? And they go and interview people from every address you lived at. So you'll get calls from people you haven't heard from for 12 years. It's like, hey, Joe, is everything okay? I had some guy come and talk to me, and stuff like that. And it's really crazy, because the management of that data, and you think about this, these are the people who have the security clearances, and it's everything about them, and it's been infiltrated, and that data was leaked, and it was the same as a corporate where nothing changed, but basically some foreign nation got all of that info about all of our most secured people. It's crazy.
The impulse is easy to see too, right? Have you guys, if anybody spent any time watching streaming, then you've choked down one of those obnoxious, like, every time I see it, pull my hair out LifeLock ads, where they talk about the problem of data leaks, and they're like, solve this problem by giving us all your data. We'll keep it safe. They're trying to offer you the same indemnity clause, a cheaper, shittier one that doesn't protect you, that actually sets you up to be more on the menu for power, right? But yeah, it's the same mechanism. They're trying to get you to sign up for an insurance plan, so that when someone does massive economic damage to your insecure identity, that you can go at least make an insurance claim.
Yep. And how do we become?
Because everybody wants to get in line and fill some more forms out with more data on it after you're done.
I mean, you need to start supporting companies that do the right thing, number one. But really, a lot of that's going to have to wait until this system collapses. So, and I think it will collapse. But when that happens, then we have to be ready to build the right things and not just jump in with what all the lawyers want us to do and the former bankers, because they're gonna have, oh, the CBDC is here now. Do this. So we have to be careful.
I give it about 3 years. The system's coming crashing. They might
That's
be
what I
able to
heard.
hold on. Yeah, they might
3
be
to
able
5
to.
years.
Yeah, they might be able to
They're
hold
going to
on
crawl all the
to
way
it.
till
Depends on who they knew.
2040.
Frankly,
Yeah,
depends
They're
on
they
who they
might.
knew.
they're still going to be dying in the 2040s, man. But they're going to start being relevant in the 2030s.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
end of this month, we could be facing a government shutdown, which I would openly welcome. I had a different
Good.
experience recently because we just moved to Arkansas. And
Mhm.
so with that, we're, supposed to get new driver's license and register our business. We're also, we were just trying to get a PO box because we haven't started building our new house next door. We're staying with my mom right now while we're building next door. And they told us we couldn't use our property address because we don't have a physical house on it yet. And so we couldn't get a PO box.
Right. You can't get anonymous mail in this country.
Well, you can actually. A friend of
I know.
mine
I know you can. But...
has anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, so then we started going down this another rabbit hole, another awakening of how corrupt. So the state of Arkansas doesn't want to acknowledge my birth because it's from another state or that I even exist, but they want me to come here. I'm supposed to register from my birth state, not even that I used to live in another state. They won't acknowledge that. They want me to file my wedding. So I'm, I guess, not married here right now. So they don't acknowledge
in absentia tax returns for all the years you didn't live there.
That's what I'm wondering. Then they also want me to make a list of all of my property.
Yeah.
And file all of my property. Basically, they want me to give all of my property to them and file it here, and all my business and my business property and file it here. And I'm just like, this is like, we naturally do this as we, you turn 16 and you get a license and you're excited about it and you're born and your parents get you a birth certificate and you don't realize these things kind of happen naturally over time. So you don't realize you're giving yourself and all of your
framed as ritual milestones.
Yeah. But you don't realize you are submitting yourself and your property to the state. But when you move and you have to do it all at once, you realize this is not normal.
That one dude.
And you think about it if you think about it adversarially too, like all the things you're giving them, if as you put it down, you think about it from the standpoint of somebody who can legally use guns on you if they feel like it.
I'm literally submitting myself, my marriage.
You're telling them where to go and who to shoot.
I'm literally giving them control of myself, my marriage, my property, my business. And if you don't,
right now the state of Arkansas couldn't brutalize you if they wanted to, but they will be able to as soon as you're done filling out those forms.
But as soon as I do, I give them permission to take everything I have.
Right. So the good answer though is
there's a dude. So there's a channel that he goes to some remote region and he'll interview normal people, right? Yeah. So what's the dude's name that he lives out in this little hut on some farmland?
Peter Santinello is the guy that does the interviews.
Yes. And that dude is like, man, that sounds so awesome. This guy has his birth certificate was washed away in a flood. So he doesn't have a birth certificate. He doesn't have a social security number. He doesn't have any of this stuff. He just lives. He reaps some of what he grows out there, and
he actually got arrested one time and they couldn't keep him because he doesn't have.
They couldn't find his paperwork. It's so Vogon. Do you guys remember in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy the Vogon?
Nope.
The bureaucratic.
Never watched that movie.
Well, I mean the book gets into it too, but the film covers this part, right? This planet that they go to, where it's the Vogons, and they're the ones who are in charge of the Destructor Fleet Planning Office, right? So Earth is being destroyed, and if they want to save it, they have to figure out how to get through the DMV-like process that is their entire society, right? And the funniest part is when they land on the planet, they step off. And as soon as they're like, well, what do we do now? Someone's like, I have an idea. And this thing pops up and slaps them in the face. So you get a sense of how these creatures evolved. right? To get slapped in the face for having ideas is to set yourself up to create a society that turns
Familiar.
into Vogon.
I love it.
And we do that a lot. We slap people who come up with new ideas.
Yep. Well, we usually kill them, but either way.
Identity is how you find people's face to do it, though, I guess.
All right, we'll go to the next question. From Habibi or Habib YouTube. Habib YouTube or Habibi-T. Rewards have been broken for over 2 months now. Is Den waiting until the new year to fix them? And if so, which new year? Where is the emperor when a rude comment comes like this? I don't know. I haven't had time to look, and the lead dev he's stretched on 3 projects, so 3 important projects. Den is part of it, right? And I think the biggest thing that we need to do is fix the auth system, which is why I wanted Sean here so he could weigh in. Because Sean hasn't been able to log in.
Auth is probably the key.
I think 8 years. Yeah. So the login would be simplified. We're just going to move it to what we're doing on Dracaria. And
are we blaming Sean? Are we just going to blame Sean?
You don't have to. I'm joking. Ever since Sean stopped trying to log in, I'm joking.
And here's a cool point. Here's a cool point to this, man. Like, remember how the dragons seemed forever to come out to everybody? They were like, "When's it coming? Come on, like, we want to play the game." When?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You guys did it so carefully, and the reason it's so awesome is because you did it so carefully. So
yeah,
I think that's the key to this.
If any of you lived through 2016, 2017,
doing it right.
when we were doing the audits on we did 4 independent audits on the token sale to make sure that everything was fair, that we didn't include somebody who wasn't supposed to be there and vice versa. And man, people were so impatient. And but then when it came out, they blew up, so
yep.
You just have to do that. And so just be a little more patient. I apologize. We do have there is a group. In fact, I need to talk to you about this, Greg. Maybe I'll call separate later today. There is a Kansas City DAO group that I think might roll into use Den, and it'll start on the simple side, just token, but I think it'll go into behavior governance too. So there's some stuff there, and I still need to work details out with them, but that's going to be a big driver too, to come in and make sure that we clean up stuff. Now the rewards there have been a couple of things. Like we had one library that had an issue. We had one where there was a connection on Ethereum. There was an issue. So I'm not sure what it is right now, but we'll look. So anyway, all right. Alt blocks. Den sucks now. I was locked out of my account for 3 months and couldn't figure out how to get back in. There's a reason why no one uses this site.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody's here using the site asking that question. Yeah. Come on.
So funny. Like, you're logged in now. Alt block. So we
no one goes to that restaurant anymore. It's too crowded.
Revanchist. I've been hanging out on Blue Sky. Which one is Blue Sky?
I'm so sorry.
Oh god.
In terms of decentralized social media, it's actually pretty great. It doesn't have ownership tokens exactly, but it's better than Mastodon or Nostr. I've heard good stuff about Nostr, actually. I don't know what you guys, and not in terms of, it doesn't seem like it's a Den related thing. It seems like it's more of a privacy,
like a federated network.
Yeah,
like a private federated.
You don't have to deal with.
Yeah, you're right. All the people just like us on this show are totally not over there. If you hate us and we're annoying and grating and you don't like hearing from us, you totally can go over to Blue Sky. It's a great way to get away from us.
Whiny little right-wing incels, like on Twitter or Farcaster. I don't know, what's Farcaster? I've heard of that too. I don't even know what it is.
Farcaster is one of my favorites, actually. It's like ETH dev land, where if you want to go feel what it's like to live permanently
you right-wing
Denver
incel.
2017, go hang out at Farcaster because it's awesome.
Okay, that's cool. All right,
it's like all a bunch of people being creative and building stuff. It's really neat.
Seriously, watching everyone in crypto cheer on the pedophile in chief while he literally wages war on Palestine, Venezuela, and throws American citizens in concentration camps makes me sick. I don't know. I think I tend to agree with this statement. Not to mention silencing dissent and waging war on ideology, just like W. Bush. Anyone voting R is an effing idiot. I think anybody voting is an effing idiot.
Yeah,
that's beside the point.
I feel bad for the people in Venezuela, and that really got to suck to be down there.
Yep. Crypto is just desperate.
Mm.
No one cares about crypto, and they're all pissed about it. All the smart money has moved on to AI, and crypto. Smart money, I don't know. Doesn't want to have to
That's not a
admit that
smart
the
move.
party's over. Watching
As this
crypto this
person
past week
responds on a
defend Joseph Goebbels or Stephen Miller in a desperate attempt to defend Republicans has been absolutely disgusting. All these crypto idiots are defending fascism. Can't figure out why the Democrats hate crypto. I don't know. I will say that crypto
man.
has
Do we have
become
to really?
junior
I'm
bankers.
sorry. Can we
largely.
sidebar here? Fascism isn't what anybody fucking thinks
No.
it is. This has got to stop. So guys, I love you. I love your perspective. I'm not a Republican. I don't vote for them. I'm not a Democrat. I don't fucking vote for them either. But stop sucking yourselves into this, please.
Yep.
I mean, like, you're a smart person, revanchist. I know you are. And I'm not calling you dumb for falling into this. But what I'm saying is, like, this pattern is fucking us. It's not that crypto is broken here or that AI is a smart investment. It's not AI, actually, right? But fascism. What is fascism? And that's what I wanted to pause on here, right? If you look at what it actually was a collectivist ideology. Ultimately, at its core, it just was, right? It was a variation on the communist theme, where the communists said the people are the thing we shall worship as a collective, and the fascists said no, our national story is what we shall worship as a collective. But the key to both was collectivism. So anytime you start shouting that an individualist is making an argument for collectivism when they're legitimately arguing for individualism, you're saying it backwards. The people shouting for individualism are shouting against fascism. I'm a fucking anti-fascist. All the anti-fascists just think they're anti-fascists when they're fucking fascists.
Yep. All I gotta say is, like, Mussolini.
Sorry, I can't stand it when people use that fucking word wrong. I don't mean to.
And Mussolini took the idea of the fasci from
It's just
ancient
not what people
Rome,
say it
and
is.
then combined the Roman Italian nationalist ideology with the collectivism of the workers' revolution of socialism. So he was a socialist first before he was a fascist, and he combined the two.
Right,
So,
fascism was a critique of socialism, but an iteration on it, not a run the opposite direction from it.
Yeah.
And to say the other one, the other tool is to call people that you disagree with on the internet a Nazi, but Hitler would disagree when you say that.
But the opposite of fascism is
better than-
anarcho-capitalism, just like it's the opposite of communism.
So,
Just real quick.
but Hitler would have admitted that Hitler did admit he was a socialist.
Yeah.
So
Mises was
And anybody pulling that like in their head going right now, oh, I read Marcuse and Gayatri Spivak, and this guy has false consciousness. That's you having cognitive dissonance that this argument is so good and you can't fucking deal with it.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Like, it's basically he's getting trapped into, or she is getting trapped into the cognitive dissonance of politics.
Alt Blocks brings up
Edison,
Austrian conspiracies about money supply and the Fed. I don't know what they mean by this.
So you're saying the Austrian conspiracy about the money supply? What? They're not conspiracies.
It is a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy theory, because they're literally devaluing your dollar while they create new monies and expanding the money supply that makes your dollar worthless. So it's
and Austrian economics isn't about money. Also, Austrian economics is about human action.
Real quick,
yes.
I know I have seen Though Bishop on Facebook in the past cite, and I saw it. I don't have it on me. That Ludwig Mises was a registered fascist, but I mean, that's really up for debate. I'm just saying. I just want to be transparent. I have seen that claim.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see here. And then right now, I think
the Romans did the Romans have a view of fascism?
They did, but not in the sense of what we had. Like, they didn't call it fascism.
Well, that's
like
interesting.
Fascism,
how do you draw that parallel? I've not heard this argument before.
So Skull Cap
can you make it back?
is a guy that I do a show with, and he's making the comment, and we were discussing this last week, and he was talking about, you know, what the word, where it came from, and you guys were showing the symbol of that tool and how it was from those individual rods bound together. And I was like, wow, it sounds like decentralized. It sounds like individuals being bound together in a common idea. I said, that sounds kind of like a DAO, you know.
I like that thought.
And so I'm like, fascism doesn't sound so terrible when you think about it that way, because it sounds like it's a tool, it's a hammer. It can be used for good or bad.
Right, and
so
well, I mean that's true of all tools, right? The problem with the tool isn't
right.
that it
That
acts
so that
like
was
that,
kind
but
of
it's
the
that its
conversation
sweep
we
is
were
so
having
broad.
about it.
Yeah.
Now the
It's so
problem
cool.
with Rome, the problem with Rome is take that into effect and then expand on the notion that Rome was somewhat proto-socialist as it expanded the empire.
Government
So,
is a socialist phenomenon ultimately,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Government is in fact a socialist phenomenon. That's probably why we should just have a king.
Yep, they didn't have
Oh,
Or an
something
emperor.
new
wars
altogether
either.
that
They
gets
had-
the
you know,
best
they
effects
had
of all the worlds.
social wars, right? You know,
You know,
that's
like
right.
like you couldn't think about, hey, let's have a democracy that's based on randomly electing a king every 30 seconds, but we could do
But
that.
what
with
is it about
I mean,
humans
we
that
do.
want to ask
We do.
permission? Like, why do
Yeah.
we choose to want someone to lord over us? Why are we always looking for someone that we need permission before we take a step?
It's a human instinct to look above being
A
exploited.
lot of it is
So-
because
Jesus appointed Peter as the first pope, and through that line, the
no,
apostles.
you think about it. You
No.
think about it. You get a village of people. You know, you kind of need some village elders to, you know, lead the way, because young people won't know what the hell's going on.
You are
Sounds
the,
like a good
you
argument
are
to
Peter.
make if you're a
Yeah.
village elder.
Well, I mean,
You are
multiple
Peter.
flavors.
You are Peter.
You could
Yeah,
go.
you are-
You could go somewhere else, but I'm just saying, humans largely would congregate because I just want to hunt and eat and do other things, and then, you know, but somebody else might want to, you know, and it when you get further and further along, you get, you know, power becomes more and more centralized, and you get, you know, a lot more complexity in how you trick people into getting more power that isn't necessary, but
Just submitting their own power to
It
somebody
really
else.
comes
all
down
I
to
gotta
pride of
say-
place the individual
yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, all
Go
I
ahead,
gotta say is, I mean, you are Peter, and up on this rock, I build the foundation of my church. There you go.
No, it's exactly. There's this one when I read this question, this 1997 song by a band that everybody hated after everyone knew who they were, but everybody loved before nobody knew who they were because they changed their style, right? Like talking about Finger 11, of course. Here, they wrote this song on their second record called "Above," and the chorus was this really beautiful thing. They'd have this really ragey verse, and then it would drop, and there's this sort of soaring. We're strong, but we're dumb. We look above. We look above, right? We look for the divine, and power can exploit that by setting up little religions for us to follow.
yeah.
But sometimes there's one true religion, and sometimes there's one true religion, one true church, and that's through Jesus.
They learned all these tricks from watching how churches work.
That's true. That is true. And then we ended up flipping it on a social, political ideology to what we probably
Atheism plus
shouldn't be
civic
running the
religion
world.
equals fascism, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you add in the occult, and then that's how you get National Socialism.
Right. Now, if you're an atheist still, and you insist upon making that your worldview, you can still have this, right? Like, you don't have to take the path that a lot of people have taken to discover this and go through faith, right? You can have faith in nothing, but you have to have real faith in nothing, and that's hard to do, right? Real faith in nothing doesn't look like anti-faith. It looks like sort of an a-faith where you actually avoid the question. It's like a hardcore, almost aggressive agnosticism more than it is atheism, if you want to do it still. But you guys can. You got to stop worshiping something else.
All right, I have. So we are finished with the questions. I think we only had 2 questions, and one of them was not even a real question.
We didn't get to the second half of the first one with the guy who said ID is already owned by the
Three
government?
questions. Oh, Brad Garlinghouse saying
Oh
that
yeah,
the government
yeah,
he said it
Garlinghouse,
has our IDs. Well, I mean, obviously they've
yeah.
made this social security number our de facto identity,
KYC.
right? It's like it's the most
Yeah.
ridiculous thing ever.
But isn't it
And then they-
defunct if like
Well,
400 Hispanic or Venezuelan, whatever Haitian immigrants have the same one? Doesn't it like
We don't
make all the rest of
here's the
We don't-
many
we don't
does
talk about
Barack
that,
Obama
Lisa.
have?
here's an interesting
we don't
thing to
talk
point
about
out,
that,
though.
Lisa.
We actually do have our IDs. They don't have them, right? Lisa moved to a new state. She's being harassed by the people who need it from her in order to do that, right?
Mm.
If
That doesn't mean
if
they
they
don't
don't
have it.
get
Whoa,
it from her, they
whoa.
won't have it.
Whoa,
the point I'm
That's
trying
state,
to
but we've been
We're
make is
talking
that
about-
is
we
the
hoping.
ID creation.
Real quick here, man. Just very, very clear here. The states are nothing right now. I mean, we're talking about the federal government.
Well, except for a
When we
lot of
say-
what they do is the federal government making them do it so they can get the records from there.
Our only hope is that the federal government. Is
Well,
so
the
competent, but-
states are only influenced by the federal subsidy that they get. from
Right,
the
they're doing a
Fed,
lot of the
so-
bidding for them though in the data collection department.
Yeah, that's how the empire keeps feeding itself. I mean,
Right,
that's the
but
whole
the
reason
point
why.
I was trying
After, yeah,
the
Well,
point I was
well-
trying to get at is that since you have the ID, since it's actually yours, that George Romero's wrong. But that
George
we don't
Romero.
think about this very
No, who's
carefully,
George?
or George Romero, sorry, whichever fucking guy that was.
Brad
Whoever
Garlinghouse.
said that.
George
Brad Garling.
George
I don't know,
Romero.
I've literally,
the
I
I
zombie
know the
guy?
name Brad Garlinghouse, but I've literally never thought about his thought. So if I'm being unfair to the guy,
To be
I
fair, Greg,
apologize,
when you said he was George Romero, I mean, we are
Freudian
living in the
slip, I
night of the
guess.
we are living in the night of the living dead, so it's all good.
My point was a little more detailed though. So if I can just quickly get there, I promise. This
Aw,
won't be
man.
meandering.
Okay.
I forgot
the
he
setup,
said.
the ritual that you do when you go get your ID. That's what they have credentials. They have credentials you can get to make it part of your ID. You have to go do the ritual with them.
Mhm.
That's all I was
Is it
trying to say.
ritualistic?
And
stuff?
to
Yeah,
the
you're
and
right.
to the point that
Everything's
I
a
was trying to
ritual. Damn it.
what I was going to add is like this all consolidated where the states are interlinked with the Fed when the federal government consolidated after the American Civil War. So Republicans won, they consolidated, and the Democrats wielded the power. They didn't capitulate, they just extended, and then eventually you have your uniparty after around 1910 when the Democrats capitulated to the socialism that the Republicans were founded upon. And then you got your American fascism. There you go. Your true American modern fascism.
Wow.
Here's a question for you guys. Why do you think making it stay open is so important to the party in power to keep the power established? Because it doesn't seem to me like they lose much when we have little shutdowns. But the other half of the uniparty always plays big, like they're going to hold out, and they don't. So
Well,
there's
because the
something
part-
that if it didn't run for like the better part of 2
Okay.
years, we'd
Yeah,
find
you have
out
an
it's bogus.
unlimited money printing machine. Okay. Yes, you've been doing well for 40 years or however long you've been alive and participating in that blood sacrifice ritual. You've been getting your money coming in. It's either from, you kill little kids over in this nation, or you do something to white kids in America. You do whatever you do as part of it. You get that money funneling in. What happens when you have a month shutdown? It's like you're on that freaking phone to whoever you've paid your millions.
Yeah, but they don't
to.
shut down the revenue gathering
Well,
part. That's the only part they leave open.
The reason
but
they
some of them get the kickbacks on those spins. So
It's-
they
it's- it's-
I
Yeah, but
think
they're not running out
it's-
of money during the
It's
shutdown.
theatrics.
yeah, you're
If
talking-
they can get everybody, riled up, they get the peanut gallery screaming, and that
Yeah.
justifies them.
But what's
Yeah.
It
weird
is
to me is that
theatrics.
like
It is
Trump
theatrics.
isn't for shutdown anymore, right? Like he was just a little bit
But-
ago. I remember it. It definitely happened. The memory
And now
hole
he's
didn't get
not.
it yet. And now he's the
Yeah.
opposite.
Well-
And the Dems are for shutdown when they were like, shutting down is the most irresponsible thing a person could ever make happen, and it's their fault.
But that's
they
to
always
Andrew's
capitulate,
point.
and then
It's
they flip
just to
sides and
get-
they play the damn game
Yeah.
again.
It's the same
Yeah.
But I
reason
want to
we
know
put
what
us
happens to both of them
even
if
in
the government
the
doesn't run for 8 months.
in the memorials in DC that are just public memorials. They're just marble that they have to block them off. They have to do. It's like, oh, we want to make sure that.
Well,
Right,
that's-
we're going to
that's
close
the
the national
thea-
parks because the trees
Yeah.
need to get paid.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
the theatrics. I mean, what are they actually going to shut down? But in reality, if there was a full, true shutdown, they don't really want that. because
I think it's because nobody would fucking notice.
Well, we have history on this.
We noticed in the
Spain.
past.
Yeah, in fact, I believe what was it? I think it was either 2015 or 2017. For 2 years almost, Spain actually shut down on their national government, and they were successful. They just economically they were the best that they ever could do.
If it closes for too long, it's obvious you don't need them.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Right.
All right. Anyway, so we got that covered. So I'm going to play this little video. You probably all seen it, and then let's see here. Then we'll go into the memes and current events. Just to think of current events while this is playing, right? And you in the comments too. Current events we need to cover. All right. Make sure we get them. Make sure we don't miss anything this week. All right.
The official 9/11 narrative is that brown people are geniuses now who coordinated the most sophisticated terror campaign ever before seen that bypassed the world's biggest defense budget and then was never able to even remotely replicate anything like it again. Honestly, I'm just impressed that people from the hidden sand village could fly airplanes at all, let alone Steph Curry half-court no-scope them into 3 really important buildings with perfect aim. That is a 9/11 miracle, and it turns out there's a lot of miracle work going on with 9/11. So let's first start with God's chosen miracle, the one. A month and a half before 9/11, this guy becomes the new owner of the Twin Towers after signing a 99-year lease for $3.2 billion. You might be thinking to yourself, wow, this guy looks very honest and trustworthy. His name is Larry Silverstein. You can't make this up. Larry did what any responsible would do after buying anything. He finagled a never-before-seen insurance policy that covered the towers for double their value. His policy request was so fucking retarded that the broker had to bring together 25 different insurance lenders to give him what he asked for, making him one of the first people in American history to get terrorism insurance on a commercial building. And as we know, days later, Kamar and Pajit Allahu Alley-oop slam dunk 2 planes into the towers, reducing Larry's multi-billion-dollar investment into a pile of rubble and the biggest insurance payout in the history of the world. Sadly, Larry couldn't make it to work on 9/11 and unfortunately is still alive to this day,
roaming the earth, waiting for Satan to reclaim his soul back to the underworld.
But trust me, it's not just rich that God blesses miracles with. The government gets its fair share as well. September 10th, the day before 9/11, retards at the Pentagon announced $2.7 trillion in missing funds, only to have a Tuscan raider park a Boeing 757 directly in their accounting department the next day, 32 minutes after the second tower was hit 225 miles away. 3 buildings hit in less than an hour? Now that's a 9/11 miracle, baby. Building 7, the Twin Towers' cute little lolly sister, located 1,600 feet away from the impact site, quietly fell straight into the ground 7 hours after the Twin Towers. The news and the people that run it blamed a small office fire, but every single structural engineer ever calls that impossible.
That's what the physics shows.
Saying it was a controlled demolition.
A perfect controlled demolition of an intact building.
It is too bad engineers don't believe in miracles. Total miracle death. Now, I still have some questions, and they're questions that miracles can't quite answer. Why did Leslie Robertson, lead engineer for the Twin Towers, say that she literally designed them to withstand the impact of a Boeing 707 airplane? Until 9/11, no steel structure in history has ever collapsed due to a fire. So how the did it happen 3 times in a row in one day? Why did hundreds of survivors report explosions?
There was a heavy-duty explosion
inside the lobby.
This is a big explosion.
Continuous explosions.
Floor by floor. Yeah, detonated.
To take down a building. Boom, boom, boom.
Why did 3 of the plane hijackers have a U.S. Naval Air Station military base as their primary address of residence on their driver's license? Why did NIST admit they deliberately avoided searching for explosive residues in their official investigation? Why did a dozen independent researchers find thermite and explosive materials at Ground Zero? Why is it okay for this to do whiteface, but when I do blackface, it becomes this huge problem all of a sudden? Who is E-Team, and why were they a group of Israeli artists living in the towers with unrestricted access leading up to 9/11? Speaking of which, who are the dancing Israelis, and why were they jailed and deported for filming and celebrating the towers collapsing?
Here were revealed as Mossad assets who were arrested after cheering and high-fiving and videotaping the crash of the airplanes into the World Trade Towers.
Why did thousands of the world's top engineers and architects form an entire organization to challenge the official 9/11 lies and narrative?
Anyway,
So is that supposed to be comedically delivered? Because goddamn, that guy's funny.
Yeah, that's why I liked it. It's so funny. He's like he's freaking katana, and it's all the
I will question the Mossad asset thing.
My personal thinking,
I would assume that they were arrested because they were pretty stupid, dancing and partying and filming. That's not what an asset should do. You shouldn't.
Well, I mean,
let
unless their
yourself
job
know.
is to distract you with the
residue.
show.
Yeah,
they had
I guess
residue in the
maybe.
van. One of the dudes had thousands of dollars in his sock. They had a whole whole bunch of just stuff that's like,
well, I mean, the fact that we think these people couldn't have possibly been working for the government is stupid because we created them.
is the one.
I don't know if they were working for the government. I think they were.
At one point,
I think they were assets in the case that all Israeli citizens have to be IDF. So they were probably that, and they were just stupid, and they used them. They used them as useful idiots.
The new stance of the IC is that every citizen is a member of the agency. Right? That's been the rule since 2020. We're all traitors if we don't message the country's propaganda on the internet.
Oh, really? Wow! Look at this. This I didn't realize. You go back and look at this.
The Dems' main problem with us is that we don't act like them about the country.
Gold new time
about
highs
their party, about our country.
are all-time highs, right? New all-time highs, and this is an interesting look at the minimum wage would be 172 an hour right now if it were mapped to gold, and cars at that time 71, $2,400. That's just crazy, really crazy stuff. Anyway,
what year was that?
71.
1971.
That's
when
not
they
right.
closed the gold window.
If you play the inflation math back, that truck is about what it's worth today.
Maybe, yeah. It's just the dollar's worthless is all I think.
You know what's interesting on the 9/11 thing is that when the Charlie Kirk thing happened, the big distraction of all that was, the big psyop that was the same day that Tucker Carlson, who had become the biggest show, bigger than anything happening on CNN or any of those other shows, he was coming out, and he's got this series now where every Thursday he comes out with a different thing, and he's telling that story. 9/11. He's talking about the dancing Israelis. He's talking about that guy owning the building. He's talking about all of that, but no one saw it because, and of course, that happened on the day when they were talking about the vaccines, and so it's always the look here, not there. Yeah, this was so.
I didn't watch this,
but I didn't watch all of it, but
it looked like a wrestling thing.
And I will tell you,
looked like a Trump rally.
The hand. Okay, so I am a homeschool mom, and part of our homeschooling is we use sign language because when you speak something and you do a dancing or movement and you say it out loud, you're like writing it on your brain. And when you move, you also help with memory. That using your left hand, and you can Google it, search it up. It does not mean the same thing. You're supposed to use sign language with your right hand or your dominant hand. And so the fact that she did this with her left hand is significant. And that is the horned hand. You can look it up. That's not the I love you symbol, people. Wake the
That's what I was saying. I was like, oh, okay. It's weird.
Wolfpack is back.
And then do you see how creepy when Trump hugged her and is biting his lip? And
it's fucking weird.
That was weird.
So fucking creepy.
Wait.
That was weird. That was
maybe
weird. Fireworks at a memorial are weird.
Fireworks
at a memorial are kind of strange.
And they whipped this all up in like a week.
Yeah, 1 week.
Well, they're trying to get her over. Like in wrestling, they say that you get people emotionally attached to a character so that she could run their organization behind the scenes. They're
so let me
justifying her existence.
Well, let me ask you this, Andrew. If that's the case, is she a part of it, or is she a character that they've made because of this, and they're using her?
She's a character. You can look at her history. She
was pre-existing.
Yeah,
Well,
she
yeah.
was running. She was in Trump's USA, whatever. She had a ministry out of Romania rescuing
Ooh.
children.
Ooh,
Go look it up. The
isn't
other thing,
isn't that where Trump's wife is originally from?
I don't
No,
think
she's from Moldavia or something like that.
No, Moldova.
Same
Moldova,
area.
yes.
Isn't that where Andrew Tate got arrested or whatever?
Yes.
Romania. Yeah, isn't that where
Romania.
Dracula?
And he's intelligence, right?
Yes.
Like, or he's
I just wonder-
associated with
I don't know.
just
I'm
wonder
just
why-
so tired of the movie. That's where I'm like, I'm just done buying tickets to it. Like, I was following all this and like thinking like, oh, we're finding, but then I was like, oh, maybe it's like they'll make the movie so ridiculous until you stop buying tickets, and that you choose when you want to wake up and when you want to get off the train.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to any of this stuff. I mean, I will pay attention to the stuff that's like, it just it's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's
It
obviously
is.
fake.
It's
What I don't
WWE.
understand is why he's
think
grabbing her
I'm-
like it's his wife.
That was weird. That was one of the weirdest
That's what I'm
things.
wondering. I'm wondering how old it is. So she's what, around like 30 or whatever. Trump is almost 80. Maybe he was one of the maybe she was one of the young girls that he purchased from Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know.
It's a little hair sniffy for my taste, to put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
it seems like he's
Biden.
forgotten who his spouse is.
Listen, guys,
Yeah.
he can't grab her pussy in public, so he's got to do something else.
Creepy.
It's
so
something that
creepy.
it's very Biden-like.
And it's not like, there's no, I don't know.
Oh,
Remember when the machine got the left with this one? They named him Obama, and everybody cheered for hope and change.
Yes. Yeah, I do remember
what
that.
is it? Hold up.
They just
What
did
is up
that
with
same
this?
trick to the right, man.
What's that?
That's
What-
what we're
what-
looking at right now.
Well, and they're making the right, and as I'm waking up even further, my exponential waking up, the saying, you can't fool somebody. You have to, you can't tell somebody they've been fooled. You have to, it's easier to fool a man than tell them they've been fooled or whatever.
Awesome.
Okay, so they just
Consuming
came out
power
and showed
destroys it.
everybody the Snake Eyes movie where Charlie Kirkland gets shot on the same exact day in the neck.
Well, it turns out it wasn't the same day. It was the 19th. They did show that in the clear, but
Oh.
he was shot in the neck. And
He
it
was shot in the neck.
Charlie
There are only so
Kirkland.
many places a
It was
person can
Charlie
get
Kirkland.
shot, right?
It's
And
crazy.
die, right? Like to a certain degree, it's not. I feel like we're to a certain. Have you guys ever heard this old fake religion?
We're searching for
this,
patterns.
Yeah, exactly. It's
we're
Discordian
finding
pattern
them.
searching, essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So part of it is us trying to piece the puzzle together, and we're finding patterns. So,
Yeah.
but
It's
I mean, it's
interesting.
still
So,
very, very weird.
Can I
It
call an
is.
audible
It's-
and ask you guys a question about LLMs?
Sure.
The fact that we're pulling this out of the assemblage of words we've created here and finding all this meaning,
Yeah.
like you can look at this and
Yeah.
go, huh, that's a fascinating connection. That looks like it was planned. Holy
Yeah.
shit, there's a link between this behavior and that behavior and that behavior.
Yeah.
And perhaps that's what they're using against us is they're playing
Right,
off
is our
of
pattern recognition
human.
system.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll pull something together and they will then. By the way, you can look at the text messages they released from Tyler Robinson and it was suspicious that the patterns that we all found they integrated into these text messages. It was like I wrapped it in a towel. It was so ridiculously obvious. It's so funny. I don't know.
Definitely.
Fuentes, I can't figure out at all because, and everybody that I'm talking to can't figure out what the hell is going on there.
He's a Fed. He's always been a Fed.
Like that is so bizarre because it was like anyway.
Which is sad.
If you had him and you went through all this process of all these years, why would you expose him in this way just to get him on freaking on the PBD podcast? I mean, was that important enough to basically expose what he is? It doesn't make sense.
Well,
to me.
media personalities, there's a shelf life for that sort of thing.
This feels like the Red Blue puppet show to me.
Yeah, but that still doesn't make sense. It's still, to me, it's like, man, you're basically blowing an asset if that's the case. That's why I don't know.
Unless
I'm not
they're
saying it's not
using
it,
the
but
asset like that. I feel like he's obviously an asset that they're
another theory.
that doesn't mean they're not
Another
using it
theory, though.
strategically.
Another theory is because he is so critical on his shows and in his messaging against Israel or Belgium, excuse me, that maybe it's a little bit out of fear.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
there's a chance that's what it is, that maybe he got a real
He's spooked.
demonstration of what was going to happen if he didn't. And it was the whole
The whole thing could be explained by self-interest too, right? It's just a path he could have seen to take that was like, hey, this is good for my brand.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the case.
Of shit.
I don't think that he's not going to gain this. So yeah, I think that's what I think. I don't know.
The problem is it's hard to tell between when someone thinks they're spooked and when somebody can realize a benefit from pantomiming spookedness. You know, like to a certain degree, if you want to get away with this, appearing spooked is the only way.
Oh God, George Lincoln Rockwell.
Is that more kayfabe to make people think, oh gosh, even Nick Fuentes is scared of Israel now?
Who knows?
Well, yes. I mean, when you look for establishment intelligence, don't look for it what they do, look for it how they posture, right? These people are fucking smart. The problem is they're spending all their resources discovering what the optics are if they do X, Y, or Z, all things we could do listed. Which one gets us the best optics? That's how they fucking reason about strategy, right? They're not trying to strategically improve the country. They're trying to strategically improve their optics while appearing to strategically improve the country.
Trump's entire methodology for his politics is
it's supposed to feel
do something,
like they're winning.
He's going to get a feel for what people on X think. And then he's going to, and in this case right here, he's going to announce something that's very popular until the evening of the same day when they announce, oh, no, it's not every year, even though they said 4 times it's every year, the H-1B thing. So
amazing how the status quo is always right there to catch us when we don't do the things we say we're going to do with power.
And the H-1B issue I've been following since 2000 because it basically, as an early in my early career as an engineer, it basically destroyed the market here locally in Kansas City, and they started bringing in all these H-1Bs. What did I do? I went and got a security clearance because it was the only place that you could get a job that you didn't have to compete against people who wanted a quarter of the rate. So I had to move, right? Now it's affecting it's not just software and IT, and now they're getting H-1B for pickleball coaches and stuff. So it's freaking beyond crazy right now. So it's a national security issue. Anyway,
actually, pickleball is part of the control grid. Because the sound that it makes allows them to push rules onto HOAs.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Every one of these, if you can find a place where you can make life harder for regular people with a complaint that is existing in pop culture, then you found a power myth. Because what they're trying to do is just like find a new way to weasel into control gridding some part of your life that isn't control gridded yet.
Yep. Man.
Can you imagine having that much power under your disposal and do whatever you wanted?
Who?
But being a dictator like that, I mean that's scary levels of power.
If I had that much power, I'd set at work immediately dissipating it.
But we all know that person in that position doesn't. That they're put in that position by the people that really have the power, and they're just the puppet. So they're scared for their life at every moment, because if they don't do what they're told, they're offed. They're the least powerful person in the world.
Right.
They have no control of their life.
I'm leaving this one up
remember
until
that short story, The Lottery? You guys remember The Lottery? The short story? Where like the people would all get together once a year and draw lots and then kill somebody.
Oh my God.
Oh no, really? Draw lots?
It was this like dark short story. It was this dystopian dark short story.
Who they choose?
No, one person has to be killed per year. The system says so, and everybody is required to vote, so that everyone shows up and we vote on who dies because the law says, right? It's sort of a commentary on Kafka-esque proceduralism, where you just do something stupid because the rules say so, and it causes everybody to get hurt.
Oh yeah. What's that?
But-
What's the study?
But the reason I bring it up is because we kind of do the same thing with our politics, right? We loved Donald Trump. In fact, he might have been, when he went in, a good guy, but we were like, I'm sorry, Samwise, but it's your turn to carry the ring. We all vote you. And they shove it on his fucking finger, right? And who knows how that person's going to react to it, but nobody has remembered that we're still supposed to be trying to throw it in the fire.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And now he's the one that pays the
now
bill
he's
that
being
goes-
corrupted by the ring, and we're sitting here throwing rocks at him like he's going back.
I
on his
don't know
promise.
if he's
what happens when we put the ring on your hand?
And
the system
somehow
itself is corrupting good people.
Yeah, and somehow Boromir actually survived because that's JD Vance.
Yeah.
Ah.
And for left members in the audience, if you love Biden or Kamala Harris, right, then them. If you put them in power and they don't do what you want anymore, it's kind of like the whole machine. Regardless of the side you look at it from, we're all in the same boat.
I don't subscribe to any philosophy that would think that JD Vance was Boromir. JD Vance, I think, would be close. Let's try to think here.
JD Vance is more of a Tom Bombadil.
God,
it's like he's
fake.
detached from all of it in a way that makes him not make sense in the story.
Well, he's controlled by
Well,
Peter. So
that's-
if Peter Thiel were who in it, what would he be? Let's
Peter
say
Thiel is the
probably
temptation of the Peter Thiel is the temptation of the desire of having the ring.
Peter
and
Thiel
that
is
reminds
actually
me of
probably
Boromir.
more closely analogous to Saruman.
Saruman.
in the phase after he fell.
Actually, I do agree with that.
Yeah, I think I could.
Because once he was PayPal Mafia Saruman the White, right? He was gonna save the day from control by creating tech that freed everybody.
This is
That
Zach's
narrative's
meat.
dead.
The devil whispered, "I'm coming for you," and I whispered back.
He goes, "We must side with them, Gandalf," as he starts building a mass surveillance engine for the federal government.
Is this actually your meme? Did
This has to be Zach's meme.
Yes,
Literally,
yes,
he
the
had
devil-
a Palantir in that movie too. I think Peter Thiel might be consciously mirroring Saruman.
My favorites ever.
Yes,
I should give this to my son. This is a good one.
He thinks. I think Peter thinks he can actually take over. And that's
Man,
why he's
Peter
doing it.
is
probably just like
not telling us who
fuck
he is.
Sauron, man. I can be Sauron.
I mean, he literally thinks he's the Antichrist, so or at least he slipped up and basically said it. And so he's conscious about it. He thinks that he can take over some capacity,
So
whatnot.
I heard a thought that this is also a psyop. This idea that the big threat is the Muslims coming, and that there's like supercells or whatever all over the country.
I feel like anytime anyone's saying it's a group,
Yeah, freaking what's her name? What's her name?
You might
be
getting
it's like Jigsaw. What's her name? Who's saying that? There's going to be ISIS is going to have some massive attack on U.S. soil. It's like, okay, so Mossad's setting something up that they can point to. Like, all right, they probably are going to blow up all of our phones. They're going to say it's the North Koreans tied together with ISIS, blowing up all of our phones.
Hey,
But if it was phones, that would be Israel, because Bibi said that Israel has.
Yeah.
I mean, Bibi already
50
said that.
states, one Israel.
Yeah.
50 states, one Israel. I don't know. It's all
Maybe
ridiculous.
the phone thing.
Yeah, and it's not the Muslims. I mean, it's like the same thing they're doing in the UK.
Yeah,
now.
well,
Who brought 'em?
yeah.
Who brought
The
'em?
thing about Islam, and as skeptical as you should be with Islam, there's no real power. They've been compromised. They've lost
honestly,
their
I know
power
it's-
since World War One.
Yep.
This is gonna sound like a lefty
So-
cliche, but having done a whole bunch of stuff traveling for crypto stuff, the Muslims that I have met have been really cool, like heartfelt people.
I believe
but it's and really
individually,
good people, too.
yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
live what they believe in a way that actually is really human and humanist, right? And to me, that's the key. Is the individual is being a good individual. I feel like we're falling into this trap of forgetting that all of these group identity things that we're treating as primary actors are not. They're staffed by people, and we're being told how to feel about them as if they are the deciders. But it's
that's how they get
right.
It's,
there may be a block of people who organize Muslims who say this group of Muslims cares about this. And that means they have to go to war, but that doesn't mean that if you're a Muslim sitting here going, "I'm not like that. I've never talked to Indians. I don't do this shit."
That's why
you're in our audience being pissed at us right now, and it's part of individuals.
I admire moderate Muslims that actually they're able to sit down. They've escaped the Islamic world. They're able to actually sit down,
read, no matter what they believe.
Yeah,
well,
they're good. They are. They're good. They're good people, and they're able to sit down, actually reread and interpret the Quran, and realize, we need to get rid of this part, ignore everything, and stick to what matters.
Well,
and they ignore that.
Or even we need to go back to basics and be more fundamental, but we're going to do it over here by ourselves, and want people who want to come.
Exactly, real fundamentalists. I will tell you
a lot of
real fundamentalists are moderate.
Muslims I know, in fact, will come tell me, it's like, hey, you need to stop posting so much stuff about Israel killing babies. It's like they're gonna come at they're gonna come after you because they're telling this to me, telling this to me because. It's like not all Jews are bad. And it's like, I don't think all Jews are bad. I just think Israel is killing babies. And so I'm going to post that Israel's killing babies until they stop killing babies or until they stop controlling my government. If they want to control my government and kill babies,
which is of itself a gambit that people are using to try to shove the government into feeling embarrassed about doing the bidding, right? Like ultimately it's still a psyop. It's just our collective assembled psyop that comes from individuals having an issue with us, right? The problem is they simulate public opinion so much. It's hard to tell the difference between genuine sentiment and
lots of Muslims that almost across the board they're usually driven by good morals. So maybe even more so than a lot of Christians that I've known. But I've known more Christians than I've known Muslims or Jews for that matter. So whatever.
It's a mechanism of government censorship. They bring people in from outside, and they cause tension, and that tension distracts from other issues.
Yep.
And
I just think
they can masters of direct misdirecting attention with that stuff.
Now, I just think it's 19th century dispensationalism and the 20th century Schofield Bible.
It's true. So I want to know about this.
No,
this is my take from now on. By the way,
sort of
desert religions,
willful ignorance, and proud of it.
Jesus was Italian. Any thoughts on that?
Jesus was Italian.
Jesus was Italian, and it's you can't.
Why are they trying to nation state project into the past, man?
You could say Roman.
Country.
You could say Roman.
To be fair, Judea was a satellite client state at this time. It wasn't quite a province yet, so
in more
Judean.
accurate terms, he was
I would say Roman, not Italian, but
I would say considering he grew up in Nazareth most of his life, I would say Galilean.
I would say Southern Italian.
Yeah,
what they were up to in Rome had nothing to do with the Northerners.
Say it, Andrew. Say it.
What is it? Transalpine Gaul. So where would Jesus live if he had migrated to Italy? Would he live in Rome or would he live somewhere else?
America. He would live in America.
Gubbio, for sure. He would live in Gubbio. That's where they made most of the musical instruments for churches.
Have you guys seen these Cinnamon Toast Crunch commercials where they're like doing cannibalism and shit like that on it?
Oh, like they're cannibalizing each other. They eat the other Cinnamon Toast. Yeah, no, I've seen
crazy.
Those. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Andrew. I don't speak Italian.
Right. In the business, we call it foreshadowing.
Do you have Italian ancestry, Andrew?
Yeah, a little.
Probably.
And Irish.
Probably.
Cool.
And Native American.
I think we probably all do.
I'm 25% Italian.
And German.
But do you have this?
Hey, this one.
No, look.
This one comes up.
See?
This one's good.
Looks
I'm
like the head of
on
corn.
stolen land, but you're an American. Anyway, it's funny. It is funny. It is funny. Hey, what's the Kalergi plan? Can anybody explain that?
Never heard of it.
The
Here, let's look
Kalergi.
it up.
That sounds. How's it spelled? I feel like I know
Right
that.
there,
The answer's
K-A-
maybe.
Will we get an
Oh,
honest response? I don't know. It's conspiracy. It's a debunked conspiracy. All right, here, I'm going to share this.
What is it?
It's not debunked, by the way. I've read some stuff about it.
That guy has a sick fade. I like his hair.
Austrian Japanese politician Kalergi concocted a plan to mix and replace white Europeans with other races via immigration. Oh, that's not happening. Conspiracy theories most often associated with European groups and parties.
Dude,
Memes
importing
promoting it.
power by having other people come in is like an old tactic of power.
It's almost like you can tell if you searched Wikipedia for debunked conspiracy theory or debunked or far right conspiracy theory, you would find most of the truth in the world. I think, frankly, right? I don't know. Is that a silly thing to say? I think that's probably the truth. This one is good. This one I do like. This one's funny. That's good. I don't know. I think it's great. And I can't see Zach. I know Zach's cracking up at this one. So, you know.
Yes.
And The Onion occasionally still gets a good one in. That one was very good.
What do these people know?
Grok finally has given up.
As a world leader, I know genocide.
Main
and when I
job.
see genocide, I'll call it out. And this is not genocide.
Yes. This one is all of the community notes say this is not real, but God, I wish it was. And I'm going to treat it like it's real. I'm going to give it to my kids. Say, look, he ate spaghetti.
Right.
They serve spaghetti.
Even presidents eat
I
spaghetti.
thought it was ramen for a second, though.
There's too much. You can tell the sauciness of it. In fact, yeah, I think.
How many?
Listen,
Okay,
if you don't
know,
serve everybody in Asia,
everybody on Earth has definitely had a pack of ramen before, right?
Yeah.
If you don't serve in
Everybody-
Japan, then that's considered rude.
Yeah, everybody
We
knows.
can all
that those
imagine
are
ourselves
worms.
being a powerful world leader if we just rip open a pack of ramen because everybody's been there.
Yes. Yep. Ramen and pho and what's the other? Whatever. I can't remember. Anyway.
So
yeah.
Pretty much.
Yep. And they're going to okay, here's we have a quick prediction from everyone. Will Massey win or lose? Because they're gonna put everything against him to try to get him out of office. So
he's gonna win.
Yeah,
he's gonna win.
But
he's
they'll
gonna
run for
win.
president
He's an
eventually,
archetype.
and then he'll turn like everybody else.
No.
He's one of the places where you can get a sense of reality.
Here's my prediction. 'Cause this is how they're gonna get him out of office. He's going to have the votes, but they're going to manipulate those votes and make sure that he loses.
Water main break, right? Yep.
Yeah.
All of Kentucky will have a water main break.
Yep.
And
they're doing the attrition approach. They're doing the attrition approach to this guy. They will not make him lose. They will try their best to make his campaign expensive and difficult. Because what they're really doing is grinding on him. They can't take his base from him because he's an individual who has an audience.
He is.
Right? That's where you look for outliers in electoral politics when it comes to legislators, right?
Yep.
The ones who got there not because the party gave them support, but because they had their own base of fame to start from.
But he even had a little sketchy. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
All I can say is, Thomas Massey, I'm with you. I'm not into politics, and I'm also across the river from your district. But I'm with you.
Move in there. Yeah, you should move in there so you can vote for him. His wife was killed.
You know how easy it is to redomicile? It's awesome.
What was his wife was killed?
Say you're living somewhere
within a couple of weeks.
Died.
Did something else.
Didn't she died of like cancer or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
it was very sudden.
Okay, we're gonna start this now. Someone explain this meme. Anybody can pick it up. You can explain the meme. Silence. Anyway,
I feel like the birds are a distraction, maybe, from the meaning of the meme.
They're not real. Birds aren't real, dude.
Birds aren't real.
No, they're government spy drones. That's right. No, so really, what's going on here, I think we can say, is that one guy is using the surveillance instrument as a weapon, and the other guy is secretly being told things from his different surveillance engine. I'm guessing the black bird represents Enigma, and the white bird represents the U.S. security state.
This segment is bearing fruit. That's actually really good.
That actually is really good.
I have a long shot. If you ever played Final Fantasy, A Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, you take the bird to fly around town. Just saying.
I have a different theory. We are in a ideological war between the Nordic philosophy and the Jews.
That's how Hitler escaped to South America.
There may also be a reference to the fact that the raven, being the smartest of all birds, is a little bit more noble than the chicken being wielded as a bludgeon, who may be the dumbest of all birds.
Yeah, it's not a European swallow. I don't think he could have been carried by this bird, Andrew.
Well, it's in Legend of Zelda, anything can happen. It's a video game.
Oh man. Anyway, so if you guys don't know what it is, you can look up chickens and what sacrifice.
You guys see any Photoshop artifacts in there anywhere? I'm curious what the original images might have looked like before they were slightly adapted.
Those are I've seen originals.
I mean,
those are both real.
People are in the background of Hitler in a picture and they're smiling. Yeah, that's Photoshop.
Pro tip: if you want to take apart a meme, one of the best ways to figure out what the original creator did is look for the original images and see what they modified.
I think that I wouldn't be surprised if that woman in the background behind Hitler is my adopted great grandmother.
Really? Wow.
She is a Nazi secretary, actually.
All right, next one.
I don't know, that kind of looks like somebody who is pretending to be a woman who's actually
someone explain this.
Probably.
That one. That's a great optical illusion.
That's a dog wearing a cap.
Neuroscience, man. This is a neuroscience trick. It's
that
playing
is
with
cat
our
in the
brain's
hat.
ability to detect boundary edges.
Yeah, the cat's angry, the dog's happy.
It's a cat dog.
They're all together. They're about to, I don't know. They're probably brothers.
What kind of living hell is that?
All right.
The dog's
Here's
head,
another one.
right? Like you guys have seen cat dog. How's that not disturbing?
What is child brothels pre-1933? What is this about?
No one really talks about child brothels, though. It's kind of gross.
Nobody.
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah,
it's not exactly dinner conversation.
It's something saying, I think, that child brothels are what brings Hitler. Just like burning the red heifers brings what does that bring?
The Antichrist or the Jewish Messiah.
So bring the red heifers.
That's mystery called apocrypha. What does that mean in real terms?
That I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this one's
what
good.
the Antichrist or
no, as in the message
Hitler.
behind the idea of suggesting that child brothels somehow emerged Hitler as a phenomenon.
We're ruled by a bunch of. We are ruled by a political elite of pedophiles.
For no reason,
but that would imply there's a continuity of world
Hitler.
government that's existed that we don't see.
Always was.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a meme. It's considered pretty much obvious.
I feel like that's embedded in the chaos of the network as opposed to a linear path selected by a ruler.
What is it? What is the other term? Real quick, guys. The other term is Weimar solutions. Or sorry, Weimar problems bring Weimar solutions. That's it, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's a nice.
But the problem is that our leaders have bad solutions. It's that our leaders think they can have solutions.
Yeah.
I'm on the condition as opposed to a leader condition.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I am on the wonderment of like video games telling a story of what is real, even if they don't know it. So like when I look at Assassin's Creed,
oh yeah,
that's the truth. Like there is a secret war in the shadows between two powers for world governance.
It's an allegory, essentially,
Yeah.
or an encrypted narrative that's designed to tell a story that people feel is true, but putting different trappings around it, so that it's either safer or because they need to fill in a gap of the story that they don't know.
Yes.
Actually, my favorite one was actually Rogue, because you actually got to play as an assassin turned Templar. So you got to see the inner workings of the Templar a little bit more. And then I started wondering, I'm like, maybe the Templars are the good guys.
Well, I mean, that's the ambiguity of Assassin's Creed, right? The people who are diehards about individual freedom are the assassins, but that doesn't make them good. That makes them extreme.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's actually it's the fact that the secret war creates a tapestry for life that looks like history that makes that game interesting, right?
Exactly.
But liberty exists in the middle of the push and pull between them.
Yep, exactly.
You know, maybe we need our adversaries is what Assassin's Creed poses.
Well, I mean, power and liberty are neighbors.
And we need them to be our adversaries, right? Like to a certain degree, locked in eternal battle is not a bad homeostasis if we look at the other possibilities and compare.
Yep.
You know, like maybe the fight we're all having should stop being so existential.
Huh.
And start being more like maybe we should all enjoy the kayfabe a little more and start.
I'm gonna go touch grass now. I'll see you guys later.
I'm being a contrarian, you guys know. Like I'm not espousing these as beliefs. I'm just trying to fuck with
some crazy
baseline and see if anybody says anything weird. Because what I'm saying,
I haven't seen this one for a while, right? It's fun. It's funny thought. Oh, the next one is great. The next one is really good, and I've found this in the past, but if I'm ever looking for it, I can never find it again. All right. So it is this one.
Dude.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it looks like a gas station drinks mascot.
Are those Canadian cops or something?
He wants you to drink the
Italian
3 times the size of a can of Monster one. That's locally branded.
Is that actually in Italy?
I don't know. Apparently.
It says Italian cops, but they do look like they might be Canadian.
There's writing on the wall behind it.
I'm pretty sure it's Italian.
Oh, what does that say?
Wait, where do you see it?
Mims and Mickle.
Yeah.
It says Mims and Mickle. Hey, I bet you that'd probably be enough to figure out where that actually is, unless that's
the one Italian word I know. Oro is it just means gold.
The only thing I know is da Firenze. It's just Florence.
You're unfortunate to be the person who got bisected down the middle on the right side of the photo. Like nobody looks flattering when you cut off part of their symmetry.
Yeah,
I learned all my Italian from Assassin's Creed 2, but then I forgot it.
7-Eleven national. This is probably a good angle to measure things, right?
Anyway. No, I don't think that's true. I think that's wrong.
I think they should rename. I think they should rename all the 7-Elevens. Yeah, they should rename the 7-Elevens to 7-7. That would be a sick joke.
That would be mean. A lot of people would get lost in Japan.
I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily a great country, but maybe a decent country.
That was the only mile. When you go to Japan, 7-Elevens are like your Western friend.
Maybe. Right.
Only reason I want to name it 7-7 is just to get at the British.
Don't forget about Lawson.
We could just change it for the Britain ones. It could be a war measure.
What do you think?
Pending British invasion, where we go liberate the people and they greet us as liberators.
Speaking of Britain, like everything that's going on and the influx of the migration crisis and what it's leading to, how did we go from July 7th, 2007 to what Britain is now? What happened on July 7th, 2007? I think it was July 7th, 777, right? Yeah, with the terror attacks in London to
that's right.
Them allowing what's going on now through laws.
Well, what do you think? Guess. You know, who did it? Who controls stuff, right? It's like
I'm trying to be nice toward Israel right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of hard.
Yep. That's how it works, man. Somebody's dog is
Not mine this time. I think it's Greg's this time.
Oh, these are great. I love all of these. Memories of butter.
Oh my God.
Like, what in the world? That's hilarious.
It's actually kind of a great brand.
Yes. And then it
has like it's existential butter.
Brits. British food isn't that bland.
Oh.
Toast sandwich.
Toast sandwich.
Yeah. It's bread on bread on bread. I mean, what's wrong with that? You know?
2 slices of bread, which the filling is a thin slice of toasted bread, which
Well,
maybe
they have
have buttered. It's an
They have one.
recipe.
They have one thing good going for them right now for what's happening. At least it'll be easy for them to get rid of pork. Too soon.
Oh, brother.
Oh my God.
Isn't that what bangers and mash, though? That has to be pork sausage, isn't it?
Probably.
It's hard to be sure because they mix up the messaging across the pond, right? Like we could be talking about Irish food wrong when we say bangers and mash, or we could be talking
That is
about
true.
British.
That is true. When they have,
Mm.
because you know why they call their cookies biscuits is because the Romans who did conquer the Brits, by the way, before they were Brits, I think, right? The Romans.
Well, the Brits weren't even there.
It was biscotti.
Britons.
Right? It was biscotti, so they were biscuits. There.
Brits still had
really
a lot of Nordic blood and a lot of
Yeah.
Saxon blood to get injected into them by invasion.
Yeah.
To become
Anglo-Saxon Jute.
What about the Britons?
The Britons were always conquered, just by different people.
Yep.
Yeah. Mainly Celts.
My take on the Britons. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, the Celts.
The Celts.
Good people.
They've always been having a dialectic with freedom from underneath the
And the
British
Gauls. The
power.
Gauls are also hard to kind of figure out where, I mean, they're French generally, but it's not exactly just the French.
Not
right?
quite.
Dude,
Yeah.
I wonder if the Scottish Enlightenment and all the Enlightenments weren't reactionary movements. Now that I'm thinking about this,
Yes, they were. They were all reactions.
because if you think about it, if you think about the reason for so many salient stories from England being about freedom, maybe it's because they're frequently living under the oppression of tyrants.
Sorry, guys, I'm not picking the name.
They're finally free to tell stories. Their stories of people's defined by a dialectic with oppressive power being overwhelmingly crushing.
God, I'm sorry, these are kind of rough.
They've always been under a boot and tricked into thinking it's freedom, and that's the British pathos.
Jesus, crazy stuff. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, here's the dude. This dude is the head of Pfizer. Look at his freaking neck. What the hell? It's like, you tell me these people aren't lizard people? How in the hell does this?
No, they're lizards.
What the hell, man?
It's what happens to your skin under studio lighting.
Is that it? Maybe that's it. Okay. All right.
It's called an elite tan.
This is what happens when Oh, go ahead, Lisa.
Well, I think you're talking about that guy's neck on the right.
Yeah. What the hell?
And the absence of neck on the left.
That's the CEO of Pfizer, who, by the way, was a veterinarian.
It's like a neck gradient.
Yeah.
He was a veterinarian. The CEO of Pfizer.
Well,
why? Because we are all animals.
Oh, man. We are all animals. I come to the
Who
belief.
does he look like? Truman Capote or something? Like the glasses plus the face on the left. This guy's.
I don't know.
This guy's a weird looking dude.
It's probably some type of mask. He has to be some type of alien, no?
I come to the belief that what happened when the northern tribes were conquered by the Assyrians had the Anunnaki blood in them from all the mixing with the Sumerians and the Babylonians. And so that's what happened.
Assyrians. I was like, huh?
Yeah,
and then I got you.
Assyrians.
Yeah.
So then when the Assyrians conquered the northern tribes and they forced them to mix breed to get the Sumerians.
I never understood where the Anunnaki. There's also some stuff about the
it's a conquest style to interbreed.
What the Cro-Magnon, and the whatever. Anyway,
we're all
other weird stuff.
There's an interesting way to think about that too. Like maybe the Cro-Magnon got named just because we found a border and decided to draw a line, and really the whole subspecies thing is a gradient, right? Like a really fine gradient. So where like next door to the people we decided to call Cro-Magnon versus the people we decided to call Neanderthal.
Yeah.
The line is really sharp, but in reality, if you checked everybody, then you would see the gradient evaporate. It's really like more of a sampling area that there's a boundary, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
What do you Greg, I identify as a Neanderthal. I don't know what this Cro-Magnon is.
Honestly,
I know.
We all have little bits of
each.
Yeah.
Homo erectus.
Homo sapiens is a pastiche of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the most dominant, but it's
the
most dominant.
What is the difference between Homo sapien and Homo sapiens sapien then?
Homo sapiens sapiens is how we distinguish the fact that primitive man lived in caves and technology. Homo sapiens, the extra sapiens means humans plus technology, essentially.
Okay, plus so it's not like a northwest or a south.
No, it's literally a way of saying early humans lived like animals, though they're genetically Homo sapiens, and current humans live not like animals, and so they're Homo sapiens sapiens.
Okay. All right. That's all right. Okay.
Early man versus late man is still Homo sapiens is the idea, but we got to draw a distinction because there are tiny evolutions that we can point to if we insist on sublimating ourselves further from nature like we keep doing. I personally think it's a mistake because we're really all part of the eukaryote empire. But
okay.
I'm sorry, what empire? I've never heard
the eukaryote empire. Actually, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. This is where the theories come.
Okay.
The great team up, right? When the mitochondria invaded this DNA-based thing that had all this awesome storage, but no energy to handle anything else but sit there and store information. So the mitochondria gets into the cell and goes, you know what? Deal time. I'll be your powerhouse. Hook up this RNA system and let me have control of the DNA and I'll store information on it.
Probably already did.
But then I'm going to work for our mutual benefit. And then we got enough energy from its ATP to do multi-cell signaling. We live in the eukaryote empire of multicellular life.
Adenosine
still just eukaryotes.
What ATP is. This one's creepy.
Our team is the whole planet, not just us.
Okay. Oh, I like
this. Except for those prokaryotes. Those bastards are our slaves.
This one's great. This one is really funny. I think it's funny in some ways, maybe other ways it's not funny, but it is a funny juxtaposition.
What is this, Hell Girl?
Probably.
No, it's COVID propaganda. Wait, is it really COVID propaganda?
No, it's a black. What is it? Note. Then
that's L, Death Note, but Hell Girl was another one where they did it on computer and basically it's a rip off.
Really? I never heard it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was funny. Let's see.
It was on IOC a long time ago.
That's a good one.
Yeah, some good. See,
this is some good dad jokery. This is my jam. This is my favorite.
I love
frequency of humor.
Yes. Oh man, I can't show that one. I was about to show one that would got me in trouble.
Oh, just show it.
Just blink it real quick, and then we'll talk about what we think we saw.
Oh, okay. This one is it. Oh, you want me to show you? I'll show it to you if you really want. If you really want.
Blink.
Let's see here. Bad. It's not that bad, but it's
there's nothing you can't say.
Let's
make a blow for free speech.
This one is what's his name's? What's his name? The Unabomber, Kaczynski.
Are we afraid to say anything on here? I think we should just put it up. There we go.
Yeah, maybe not. Alex Jones. I don't know. Ted Kaczynski. A lot of people say I don't know. I'm still like, oh, it is. He's an interesting as a philosopher.
I'm still on the fence
He
on
would
it.
have been interesting as a philosopher if he stayed off the bombing shit. You know, like if you wrote a short fiction about bombing instead of doing it.
Okay, would you know who he is?
Where I think it's MK Ultra.
You wouldn't know who he was if he hadn't done that.
I don't know. I think people would probably like the book. The guy was a good writer.
Yeah, that's true. He was.
And
I mean, kind of a waste, honestly. That's the sad part is he was smart.
Yeah. Well, it probably just drove him crazy with what he had to deal with.
Yeah. Well, he drove himself
crazy. I can for one. I
went to live in isolation.
I can. What's the word? I mean, I could see where somebody could get driven that way. So anyway,
Right. Self-imposed solitary confinement's a hell of a drug.
this beautiful scene from some war land, because I think that's what is that? That's I believe this is an illegal, like a internationally illegal. What is it when they drop magnesium on fire to burn everything?
It's pretty.
Oh,
It's
it is pretty.
That is. It's kind
You
of
can sort of empathize with
scary.
people who want to watch the world burn when you see this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can guess who did it. One of our allies.
Guitar.
Creepy.
It was Guitari.
Yeah.
It
Let's
was
see
Guitar.
here.
I ain't dying for Guitar.
This one you
dude.
can't hear the audio, but this one's like kind of crazy. It's like, whoa. It's like I don't know if it'll have all the subtitles. I wanted to see what Zach and Andrew think about these, but I'm not playing the audio, so you will never know.
I believe that what Leo the 13th saw in the 1890s was truly Jesus arguing and debating with Satan, and Satan saying, "Give me 100 years," and Jesus said, "We'll be resilient." God said, "We'll be resilient. You have 100 years," and we are in spiritual warfare.
Huh. Yeah, that's probably true. Either way,
So,
yep.
because it's starting to make sense. It wasn't. I truly believe that he actually did have a vision. I don't think it was a dream or anything. I think he actually saw something because he was shaken, and then he wrote the St. Michael prayer for spiritual warfare.
Really, I didn't know this. That's cool.
Mhm.
Right?
And then what's interesting is what correlated after that, besides the fact that you had the central bank in World War One, but during World War One, as it closed, you had the sighting of Our Lady at Fatima in 1917 to the 3 children in Portugal, and she was very poetically prophetic towards World War One, the end of World War One, the Spanish flu, and then the World War Two. And then so it's pretty interesting. So that both correlate with the world wars and beyond, and Bolshevikism. Because Our Lady at Fatima spoke highly against the communist regimes that were filling
What's
the void.
Difference between Bolshevicism and Bolshevism?
Bolshevism. I don't think it.
Oh,
sorry.
I thought you
remove
the
K.
word.
No, Bolshevism.
Bolshevism, evil stuff.
No, I actually kind of like Bolshevicism. There's an idea.
I do too. I do. I like that better. But
do you guys think that the Romanovs were killed in a blood ritual?
Bolshevikism.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain it was. The way it was done, it's pretty bad stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Read that stuff up. Sometimes they post it on the anniversary, right?
That's dark. Yeah. Just because the communists were effectively atheists in their realm doesn't mean the ones that were in charge of it were not satanic in their ritualistic practices.
Yep, it's bad stuff. I don't even know what this one means, but it's funny. I mean, I know what the word means, but I don't know why this meme exists, but it is funny. It is pretty funny.
No.
And this one, I don't know. I do like visual things like that. It's pretty cool.
Like that, probably like the opening to Fractal. It's really cool like that.
Yeah,
that is really cool.
Yeah.
It's a good
my favorite thing about fractals is actually the resolution scales where it snaps to being identical. Like I love to go back and forth between that sort of jump, because if you play it, it feels fluid, and if you play it frame by frame, it definitely doesn't feel fluid.
Yep. Getting close to the limits of my meme holdings, guys. Let's see here. Okay, that one's funny, but you have to hear it. Anyway, so you guys want to close out? We have like 12 minutes. Go ahead, close out now.
We can take a luxuriant.
We can end with this one. This is where we're. I mean, and this is from 2022, but this is so realistic, and so it's like it was obvious obvious.
We need to get good at having meta enemies again. We need to remember that the enemy is the system of government that we're under.
Yes. That's why, or like early Americans realize that, and we need
And
to.
the media.
Right. All of the left and the
Mhm.
right and the center should be one unified
Although
side of this conflict
I will say, because
against the idea of
one,
power.
if anybody, and here's the thing, until we can name our enemy, and you can say this, but back when I thought the enemy was militant Islam after 9/11, they had me convinced of that. You couldn't name it, and it's a weird thing. So they always make whatever the enemy is unnameable. So if you could name with a single word, what is our common enemy, and you could say, okay, the media, but that's not all of it. The government, that's not all of it.
Right.
Big healthcare, maybe that's not all of it.
Right.
What is it? What's the one word that captures our enemy? And until you can say that, you can't really fight the enemy until you can.
Well, I mean,
communicate.
That's the trick, right? That's the trick. I actually feel like it's the other way around. Joe, I think you're right, but I think it's sort of flipped. I think really the enemy framing is part of the human brain condition, right? And that we fill that space when we don't have it, and so other people tell us stories that are useful for us to hear about it.
I'm going to tell you, Greg, my enemy is not my brain. I'll tell you that.
No, it's not your brain. It's the manipulation of your brain through that mechanism.
Somebody is pushing people.
That sounds very anti-Semitic.
To attack my family and my way of life. They attacked my company.
The question is,
I'm a nobody from middle of nowhere. I grew up in Kansas, grew up in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden I had something that was worth $1 billion, and all of a sudden the U.S. government comes after me and totally destroys.
You stuck your head up above the freaking grass, man.
Yeah. So
you were there safely on the savannah, and then you poked up, and they're like,
"My enemy is not inside here. My enemy is out there," and they basically can pit us humans against each other.
The real struggle, the real battle line is at the choke point between where you are on the rung of society and the top.
Yeah. Something. So, study history.
The mechanism is designed to set us in competition with one another to join them.
But source materials, right? So go to the source materials. Don't study something somebody wrote about. The
primary sources.
Yep, primary sources are important.
Managers are always breeding.
Man, sorry I didn't get the comments. I should have. You know what? Next time we can do this. Let's see here. We can turn this on. Wait, where are they at?
It only comes up once you turn it on. Then the new ones will start coming.
Really?
Out, but it won't go back into
like this.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that's interesting. We should next time remind me. We'll turn that on.
That is cool. Lisa, last time that was awesome. It was a lot of fun to have that.
Let me think.
Oh, that way it wouldn't post my KKK.
It said there's a new feature that will tell you when there's a question.
A whole bunch.
Right? Somebody asks a question. So I'm
really, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like KK, it's more.
Let's figure that out. Anyway, so Andrew, what's going on this week?
We'll be having Greg back tomorrow for another session about his book installment. Yeah,
nice.
It'll be 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central.
All right.
Legacy Right podcast.
Right on.
We're gonna crack open some really interesting territory. Anybody who wants to do any homework, look up the computer science and information science idea of N space, as in N, the letter N hyphen space. Because we're going to get into the idea of
not
all ideas that can exist in this hypothetical space, and that they just have coordinates that you can find or not. That's that's one of the things we're going to talk about. So it's cool.
Excellent. Zach,
join us.
Check out our latest episodes of Crypto Wednesday. We jumped into post-labor economics. Also, go over to Legacy Ride on Rumble or YouTube. I think it also might be on the podcast sphere, but there is another post-labor economics conversation that me and William had. So go check out that and learn what post-labor economics is, because it's very interesting. And there's two pathways that you can take of it. One is the more centralized technocratic atmosphere, and then the other is a more decentralized, more solidarity like stewardship level of community.
Does
for
the
human
economy
beings.
run on an Uber-like service of everybody's bots, or does somebody own the bots and everybody else is poor?
Exactly.
Sort of the upshot.
Exactly. It's basically how it rolls. So go check that out. Crypto Wednesday 10 was post labor economics, was the previous one, but go check that out. And just check out the Legacy Right every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern live, and then wherever you listen to your podcast.
Right on. Lisa.
Yes.
This evening on my channel on YouTube's, I will have my friend Skullcap, who was in the chat today. We'll be talking more VSTEG and talking about this kayfabe nightmare that we're in, the movie. So if you want to follow some of that along, you can jump in and watch us there. And then next weekend, we will be having the meetup live in person in Metamora, Illinois, on the town square at Hanover's on October 3rd for happy hour live. So come and meet us there. We'll be doing giveaways and hanging out with a bunch of amazing, freedom-loving people. So hopefully see you guys all there.
Right on. All right, so for me, I'm going to tell you guys that before the next show, before the next episode, which is what, 228, Dracaria air season will be live for the cycle. There are 2,500 eggs there. The past two seasons have sold out in less than an hour each, 30 and 40 minutes each. So get in there and check them out. We're about to launch the marketplace. We're about to launch a whole bunch of other very interesting stuff. So that's coming before next week. And the other side of it, I don't think we'll have it before next week, but the big refresh plan for Dragon and all of our IP stuff is getting very close. I have the document in place. In fact, I need to ping you, Greg, for some feedback.
Yeah.
And
for Habib, this is one of those projects that is sitting in front of the mega den rebuild that is going to be
right. Yeah, it's all kind
like
of
a magic refresh where all the things that we've learned from running den get built into something that's version 2 better.
Yes.
So with this marketplace, real property for eggs.
Yeah, really. Yeah, yes. No, you can tokenize anyway. Whatever. I don't know. It's going to be interesting because there are a whole bunch of other types of asset that are going to come into it. Characters and various other things as well, and even beyond just the dragons. But the dragons, I mean, it's kind of crazy because I spoke to a couple of people this past week that didn't know anything about Dracaria, and so it's always an interesting thing where I kind of try to figure out how to explain it to them to see how can I get them to absorb the most without going too deep on everything. And it's one of the guys, it blew his mind because when he understood the tech, right, and he understood how it worked, and he was just like, oh my god, and it's like, how do I get in there? And he wanted to show it to his daughter and stuff. And he has a game dev company, right? So I was kind of interested in how he took it.
That's
and
awesome.
When I told him that the animators were the lead animators from Game of Thrones, they've done Harry Potter, and they've done the House Dragons and all that, he was it just went over the top. So I was like, we just need to get more people to know about it. It's still very early. So
my egg, by the way, is still incubating.
Yes,
this is going to be a tank.
Wow.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I don't know. The team still has a few of them that are still incubating, so it's very good. Very good.
I am very excited about the fact. I want to keep going. I want to be like the biggest freaking HP well on the team.
That's next Wednesday at noon Central Time is when that starts, the air season. And this is still the first stage, so this is still very early. I can't remember which ones. It might be the last, because this would be October, right? that is that right? Yeah, it'd be October. The November, I think it might be the first season of the Second Age in Dracaria is the day before Thanksgiving, and the second season is the day before Christmas. And so we're like, I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to do all of the traditional, Black Friday. How do we pump up people buying keys to give to their kids for Christmas and stuff? I don't know. Anyway, that's on my head, on my mind.
You should just put up like things with hidden keys in them on like eBay, and just like buy your kid this pair of socks for Christmas, and stuffed in here is your key.
Yes. No, that's a good idea. We just put some around, right? Not a bad idea.
I have a suggestion for that, but we're almost out of time, so
Okay.
I'll tell you about it later.
Yes. All right. We'll see you guys later. No play out. Bye.
Yep. TTYL.